Hi, I'm Mr. Parker and this is question 21 on the OCR Foundation GCSE Paper 2 from June 2013. For other questions on this exam paper, click the link here or look in the video description below. Question 21a. Complete this table for y equals x squared minus 3x. So we're given most of the values and we've only got to fill in this one and this one. I'm going to do the positive one first. So to work out the number here, we are going to do 2 squared minus 3 lots of 2. Now you could probably do this without your calculator, but I'm going to use a calculator because sometimes you get an equation here that's more complicated, in which case it will be easier to use your calculator. So I'm going to do 2 squared minus 3 times 2, and that gives me minus 2. This box is relatively straightforward. However, when you've got a negative number here, people often make mistakes when they put it into their calculator and square it. And to see why, over here I'm going to do minus 2 times minus 2 because that's minus 2 squared. And if I do a negative times a negative, hopefully you know my answer is positive, so this should be 4. However, if you put this into your calculator and just do minus 2 squared, your calculator says minus 4, which we know to be wrong. So if you want to square a negative number in your calculator and you want it to be done properly, you need to put the negative number in brackets like that. Then when we square it, our calculator gives us the correct answer of 4. So remember, the equation is x squared minus 3x, so we're going to do minus 2 squared minus 3 lots of minus 2, and that gives us 10. So the values that we filled in are 10 and minus 2. Part B says, on the grid, draw the graph of y equals x squared minus 3x. So here's my grid, and the first thing I need to do is plot each of these points accurately. So I'll start with minus 2, 10. So across to minus 2 up to 10, that's going to be right in the corner of my graph. Next I've got minus 1, 4. That's going to be here. Next is 0, 0. That's there. Then I've got 1 minus 2. That's down here. Then I've got 2 minus 2. So that's here. Then I've got 3, 0. That's here. And I've got 4, 4. Key thing to notice, and this is true for any quadratic graph that we draw, that's something with a power of x squared up here, our curve will be symmetrical. So our curve has to go through every single point, and it's not just a line joining them up, it's smooth. Now it doesn't have to be perfect. I've been doing these for a long time and I'm still not that good at them. So as long as it's a curve that goes through each point and it's smooth, you should be okay. But it is something that you get a little bit better at with practice. In part B, we need to use our graph to solve the equation x squared minus 3x equals 2. So remember, in part B we drew the graph of y equals x squared minus 3x. So we're interested when that graph equals 2. So all we need to do is draw a horizontal line that goes across through 2. And we're interested in the points where the two graphs meet. Now, your curve will be slightly different to mine. Hopefully it'll be better. So your points may be slightly different to what I've got. But as long as they're within a certain tolerance, that's okay. So I would say the one here is at minus 0.6. And I would say the one here is at 3.6.